Thank you, Stephen. Thanks for having me here. Thanks for letting me speak to such an excellent audience. I'm in salmon farming. Salmon farming is probably and maybe one of the best solutions for the Arctic for economic sustainable activity. 40% almost of Norway's salmon farming activity is within the Arctic Circle and creates huge values. The demand for salmon in the world has been increasing by 5 to 10% yearly over the last 30 years, and it seems to be insatiable demand for such a beautiful product. It is also perfect for coastal communities. Most of the value creation in salmon farming is on the coast. In Norway, seafood business is the fourth biggest economic sector in the country. Most of this economic activity is on the coastal communities, also in the northern part of the country. We are just a small fact which are quite interesting. The average value creation connected to one workplace within salmon farming on the coast is 4 times the national average of income. It's 4 million Norwegian kroners as opposed to the average of 1 million Norwegian kroners value creation from one workplace in Norway. So it's a perfect redistribution of wealth from the central to the peripheral. We're also very active in Canada, where we are on the British on the BC coast, doing farming there on 20 farms, having deep relationships to local government, to the First Nations, and to the local communities there. I want to also just make a quick explanation or presentation of an organization that I was happy to lead for a couple of years, the Global Salmon Initiative, which is a unique organization on sustainability among half of the world's salmon farming companies. It is an organization only looking at sustainable actions and sustainable indicators for how to progress this interesting industry. Every year we report on 14 different indexes that are critical for sustainability in the sea. And this has been being audited by professional auditors, so we are not cheating. It's within mortalities, within damage to mammal sea life, on antibiotics use and so forth. We are actually cooperating very closely with the World Wildlife Fund on developing a standard, ASC standard, which is going to be used by all salmon farmers and based on sustainability. WWF is hailing this industrial cooperation as one of the best examples they ever seen within any industry globally of how to cooperate, to being open, to being transparent. And I think this is one of the most important things to be if we are going to improve the environmental conditions on our globe. There was also in this invitation to speak about science versus beliefs versus urban policies which are dominating our lives. How can we get science to prevail when not so much science is dominating our policies? I think as an industry actor, we just have to stick to science. We have to stick to facts. We have to repeat what we believe and show what is happening. And I think that will then change eventually the policy. But we need to communicate better. Salmon farming industry and industries in general in the world are often shy about what they are doing. They are so preoccupied making their own business that they forget to communicate. I think communication is the key here. We need to communicate better. And therefore, thanks for having me here to at least communicating to some of you. Thanks.